Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. Hello, and happy Monday. I hope that you are doing amazing when you catch this live up and through here. Hello, and welcome to Monday's Q&A. Today, I am going to be answering some of the questions that were submitted a little while ago, surrounding career negotiation, what to do, all the things. If you're new around here, my name is Susana Briscoe-Alba. I am the lead career strategist at Dunamis Coaching and Consulting Services, and we teach you how to take career ownership and leverage your career so like that you can make the most in this current environment. And so today I'm going to be answering some of the questions. Yes, we are live today. Today I'm going to be answering some of the questions that have been submitted surrounding career and things that you guys have asked for. Everything that is ranging from how to handle multiple offers, what to do and what to bring with you to an interview. And let's see. When is the right time to quit your job? So I am going to be addressing some of those questions here with you. I am looking forward to connecting with y'all. So in the comments on IG is one of our strategists, Sharice. So she and I will be able to handle the questions in case I miss one. Sharice will help me to bring those questions to the forefront or be able to connect with you. So if this is your first time engaging with me, drop a 1 in the chat and let me know where you're joining me from. If this is your first time engaging with me, drop a 1 in the chat and let me know where you are joining me from. But if you are not new to this and you are true to this, I want you to drop a 2 in the chat and tell me where you are joining me from. If you're not new to this, but true to this, drop a 2 in the chat and let me know where you are joining me from. And if you're catching this on the replay, just comment #replay to let me know that you are here, okay? So I'm going to get through these questions. I'm going to do my very best to get to all of the questions that I have. Hey, Boogie Down Bronx is in the building. Boogie Down Bronx is where I grew up. So hey, friend, DFW area is in the house. What up, what up? Charlotte, North Carolina, Maryland, Kansas City, Missouri, Arkansas. Let's see. All right. Hey, Florida, what's going on? So I am pretty excited to be able to connect with y'all and just share with you in this way. So I am going to assign a moderator so that Sharice can help us in the chat. And let's get into your questions. So this question was submitted to me, and this individual is sharing quite a bit. So I want to give you some context before I give you my answer to what I would do and how I would handle the situation. So to make a long story short, this individual has been in a new industry, and she's been in the new industry for 2 years. So because she's been in this new industry, she started off she did a lateral move. So she did a lateral move in order for her to keep going forward. And now she's at a point where she's ready to scale. So a couple of things that I want you to pay attention to is that one of the things that I suggest when you are ready to scale into a new role is that you should be looking to scale into a new role every 3 to 5 years. This particular individual is in that position where she's been in the role now 3 years, and she's looking to scale and grow into a different area. And so right now, she has gotten to a point where she's applied to several positions. She's gone on interviews, and now she has 3 offers that she has received from the organizations that she's interviewed with. How do you handle that type of situation? All of the offers that she's received are similar in terms of compensation. They're all 60% above what she asked for and is currently making. Can we just give a round of applause? Because when I tell y'all that it is possible for you to be able to walk in that kind of confidence and to secure opportunities with that high of a pay range, I feel like people think that I'm crazy, but it's only because we've lived through this. This is something that we see with our clients consistently. And so this individual submitted their question. Her compensation packages are all similar, and they're 60% above her current salary. Okay. They're in 2 different industries. And her question is, do I follow my heart and stay in the industry that I know? Or do I go for a new industry that is a little bit more new to me, and is kind of in a season of restructuring? So, my solution here is twofold. When you are in a position, ladies and gentlemen, where you have multiple offers, I want you to think through leverage, okay? I want you to leverage those opportunities against each other. The first thing that I want you to pay attention to is like, if you love the money but you don't love the work, you'll be burnt out very quick. I'm going to say that again. If you love the money but you don't love the work, you will be burnt out very quick. Okay. And inevitably, I will have people who are like, I don't care about the job. I just want to get paid. To a certain degree, that will carry you. But when you have this many opportunities that you can leverage against each other, pay attention to be able to do the work that you love more than just the money that you're earning, because you need to know your baseline. So in this example, this individual, their baseline is that all of the offers are 60% above what they are already making. So the money is already there. So pay attention to the work. If you love the money more than you love the work, you'll be burnt out real quick. Okay. So that's going to be my first recommendation. What do you love about the work that you'll be able to do, regardless of industry? Okay. Sometimes you need to be able to not only make a logical decision, but you also need to make a gut decision and a heart decision. So that would be the first thing that I would be paying attention to. And then secondly, I would be paying attention to the opportunities that are available in either of these roles. So as things are changing in the workforce, whether you are in the United States or you are abroad, does this opportunity or opportunities allow for you to have, does it allow for you to be exposed to something new? Does it allow for you to be exposed to something new? The reason that I say that is because on a scale from 1 to 10, actually, not even on a scale from 1 to 10, on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being super confident, 1 being I'm not really sure. How many of you can tell me when you start a new role that you start at the highest part of the confidence level? 5 being super confident and 1 feeling like you're an imposter. On a scale from 1 to 5, where do you fall? 1 feeling like an imposter and 5 feeling super confident. Tell me in the chat where you're at, because this is interactive. Okay, we're gonna do this thing together, because the most important thing that I want you to pay attention to is where you are at. Okay, the reason that we're doing this exercise is because I need you to identify a couple of things so that you can check your heart and your feelings with the actual data that you're getting. So many of you, I'm seeing 3s and I'm seeing a lot of like 1s. So 1, you feel like an imposter. You now have 3 offers. Let's assume we're all in the same position. You have now 3 offers that are 60% more than what you're currently earning. And I'm seeing people say 1s and I'm seeing people say 3s. So there's a couple things that I'm paying attention to here when I'm reading your responses. 1 is that you don't believe it about you. And if you don't believe it about you, that you are that girl or you are that guy that brings value and brings impact, why should the employer believe it about you? That's the first thing. And then secondly, for those of you who are in the midway point, there's nothing wrong with you being at the midway point. But how much more do you want to grow? And so when you are looking at these opportunities that are above what you were anticipating or expecting, consider where is it that you want to fall, especially if you're at a 3. Because at a 3, you're kind of like I feel like I could do the work. I think I know what I'm doing, but I'm also like panicking and very afraid. Or I feel like I can do the work and I want to be able to grow. Notice the 2 different paradigm shifts and perspectives that I just shared. Right. And so one of the other things that I find with people who fall in the 3s is that, like, yes, I got this position, but I'm terrified of making a mistake. I hope this frees you when I tell you mistakes are a part of the success. Mistakes are a part of the success. The sooner that you get comfortable with that, the quicker you'll be able to recover and keep moving. But if you're not comfortable with understanding that you likely will make a mistake, and the first time you make one, you have a complete meltdown, that is going to cause you to constantly live in a state of second guessing yourself. Okay, so I want you to pay attention to that. So my answer to this question is I would leverage those 3 opportunities. I would go back to all 3 of those organizations and let them know where I stand. I would rank them on a scale from 1 to 3. Which one do I really want to get into? Which one would be like the safe spot that I would be happy I could go either way? And which one most certainly is not in alignment with who I am? And the reason that I do that, and the reason that I have you rank that, is because, again, you are going to be doing the work here. And can you commit to doing the work there for 3 to 5 years before you're ready to scale again? So one of the things that we're doing in Advance, which is the group coaching program, that is open for applications. So if you would like for me to be your coach in the new year and help you how to get to these types of positions, I need you to comment the word join, JOIN. I will send you the link for you to apply. Applications are free. I'll walk you through what that process looks like. So you submit an application, you meet with me, we decide if we're a good fit, and then from there you proceed to either enroll or consider something else. So if you comment the word join, Susana the bot will send you the link for you to be able to at least fill out the application and get more information. Application is free. You will meet with me. We'll go over your criteria, what you feel like, what you would like to see, and then we'll decide if you are a good fit, because I don't work with everybody, okay? But there are several of y'all who need that kind of support. And this leads me to the next question. So the next question is, when is it a good time to quit your job? When is a good time to quit your job? I feel like that's a loaded statement. And the first thing that I'm going to tell you is, especially if you are in the US, do not quit your job without having a backup plan. Do not quit your job without having a backup plan. Do not quit your job if you don't have an offer that gives you a salary and a start date. Okay? I'm going to say that again for the people who are like, I got an offer. Until you don't have the offer with a start date and a salary and both parties have signed, do not quit your job. Okay? Because entrepreneurship is not for the weak. That's the first thing. And secondly, in this type of economy that we are living in the United States, you need to have a plan. Hope is not a strategy. I'm going to say that again. Hope is not a strategy. Oh, I'm going to quit and I'm hoping that I'll find a new position in 3 to 6 months. Okay, what happens when you approach 8 months and you still don't have a job, but you still have bills? So this is why I'm telling you, hope is not a strategy. So I would say, if you are feeling where it is time for you to be able to find a new opportunity, let's create a strategy. The whole reason why I have a coaching program to support women who look like me, men and women who look like me, and encourage you and help you to find where you're going to go next, is because many of y'all are in a season where you know it's time to pivot, but you don't know where to go. So you've been in your position at least 8 years or more. And now you're like, you know what? I can't take it here anymore. And now you're just like, what do I do? It's not the same like when I was applying for this position back in the day. The whole reason that we are launching this program is to help men and women who are in that place where they are ready to pivot, or you've been forced into a pivot. Can I talk to my people who have been laid off? And because you've been forced into a pivot, it's messed with your confidence. And so now because you feel laid off, but now because you've been laid off, you feel like you're not qualified. You'll never get a job. You're not sure what is going to happen because you messed up in some way. Let me help you right there. Just because you got laid off does not mean that you're not hireable, does not mean that you cannot do good work, does not mean that you will not be able to find a new opportunity. I don't know who that is for, but if you identify as someone who has been recently laid off and all of those emotions and all of those things are going on in your head where you feel some type of way and it's making you question who you are and who you were created to be, baby, we're going to silence that right now, because you will then give up your power seat. And what will happen is that you'll start to speak from a place of desperation instead of a place of power. Okay. So when do you quit your job? I'll tell you what worked for me when it was time for me to leave my previous role and before I launched what you see today. So I had known for months that it was time for me to pivot, but I was scared. I was very afraid because I had a really good job. I had a really good salary. I did not know what I wanted to do next, but I knew that I was good at mentoring, coaching, and supporting other people. You may not know this about me, but one of the reasons why I had incredible team members that were a part of my world that then went on to do amazing things is because every time I found a new opportunity that would cross my desk, as the leader, as the supervisor, I immediately could think of, oh, Jess would be a really good fit for this position. And so the reason that I know how to write resumes so well and the reason that I know how to coach you through interviews is because I was doing it with my own team. So I can't tell you how many times I would sit with a team member and be like, listen, this opportunity hasn't even been posted yet. I think you would be a really good fit. Let's look at your resume. Let's get you together. And if you think you want to apply for it, go for it. You're more than welcome to stay here, but I want you to be exposed to another opportunity. So it was time for me. I knew it was time for me to go because my environment started to shift greatly. My environment started to shift greatly, and my body started to have a physical response to what was happening in my environment. First of all, I was going through what people call Sunday scaries. I dreaded Sunday nights because it would remind me of all the mayhem that was coming on Monday morning. I would be really short with my family, with my son and with my husband, because I was carrying stress from the workplace home. Okay. And the third thing that started to happen to me was that I was starting to gain weight at a very rapid pace. And instead of talking to someone about what I was dealing with, I was drowning my sorrows in food. And so instead of having one cookie, I was having an entire package of Oreos. Instead of ordering more healthy whole foods, I found myself going to whatever was fastest, deep fried, and possibly covered in chocolate because that would make me feel better. Those are the types of things that started to indicate to me something has to change because at this rate, this is no longer sustainable. So my body started to keep score. So what did I do? I started to actively activate my network. This is something that I teach my clients to do. Activate your network. So I found two mentors, a man and a woman, in two different states who I love dearly, in two different states. And I shared with them what I was going through. Here's what's beautiful about my board of directors, AKA mentors. They did not know each other. They knew what I was going through. And when you are in alignment with the right people, you will get the responses that you are looking for without having to coerce anyone. So some of y'all, and I'm going to speak to those who claim to be Christians and believers, and you're waiting for God to tell you something. You will not hear God clearly if you already decided what God is going to say. I'm going to just leave that for you right there. You will not hear God clearly if you've already decided what you think God is going to say. And so the reason that I had two different mentors in two different states is because I needed to make sure that I was not tripping. And in their own way, they both confirmed what I already knew, that it was time for me to go, that I needed to make alignment with where I was so that it was congruent to who I was. And then I needed to have a plan. So all of the things that I'm teaching you, it's not because it just feels good and I just came up with these things. It's because I lived through that mess. I lived through the mess of knowing that I was being stabbed in the back. I lived through the mess of knowing that I was the smartest one in the room, but because I presented myself a certain way, I was not going to get the same attention. I lived through the fact that I was terrified of walking away from a position because it was safe and I didn't know what it was going to do. I didn't know what I was going to do. And so it's easier for me to trust the toxicity that I was in instead of moving myself out of that. I'm telling you, my love, I'm not telling you to stay in the same environment, but before you leave, you need to have a plan. So I started to equip the team that was around me. I started exposing them to giving presentations and speaking to people the same way that I would. I started to take things down from my office and start telling the environment I no longer fit in here. So I'm slowly going to start cleaning up my office. At every conference that I went to, I was very intentional about who I was connecting with and what I was connecting about. Because some of y'all are making connections with individuals who are at the same toxic level. And instead of them pulling you up, you're still in the same toxic bubble. That, like, you can't be doing that. You cannot be doing that. And no matter what industry you're in, because I know that some of you are in healthcare. I know that some of you are in education. I know that some of you are working for yourselves. I know that some of you are in engineering. Pay attention to your environment. Pay attention to what's going on. And if you know that your body is keeping score and that deep within you it's time for you to make a move, find yourself the right community, which is what, again, shameless plug for the program that I'm running. Because some of y'all can't share the way that you feel because you're afraid that people are going to judge you. And it's going to sound something like, oh, you're doing too much. You're overthinking it. It's really not that hard. You should be grateful. Has anybody heard any of those? What are you complaining about? Do you know how many people are struggling to find a job and here you are complaining about yours? Yes, but it's killing me. So I say all of that to say, when you are trying to find out what your next best move is, get yourself in the right community. Find the right people that are going to speak to you, confirming what you already know. Confirming what you already know. Because that's another thing that I hear a lot. I need confirmation. Sometimes confirmation is smacking you and you're just like, why are you hitting me so hard? Because I've been there. Listen, comment, join, and at least fill out the application for advance. Comment, join, and at least fill out the application for advance. Because you need to be able to at least see what's available to you. Okay. So if you're at a point where you're looking to identify when is it that I leave, pay attention to what your body is telling you, find yourself the right community, make sure that you have a board of directors. Okay. Make sure that you have a board of directors, AKA mentors or sponsors that can help guide you. Okay. And don't make this overly difficult for yourself. A mentor or a sponsor or anything like that is someone who is at least 2 to 3 steps ahead of who you are or where you want to be. Okay. And what's really interesting about a mentor or a sponsor, when done right, they're not only going to tell you what you want to hear, They're going to reveal to you aspects that you don't want to confront. Baby, when some of my mentors started to reveal aspects of my character that I did not want to confront, it was the most uncomfortable season. Because what you mean? And how both of y'all know, but both of y'all don't talk to each other. So, oh, those are things that we cover in advance. Listen, those are things that we cover in advance. So if you need that kind of support, if you know you found yourself there, where it's like, dang, I know I need to come up with a plan. I don't know where to start. I know that I want to find a new job. And like, the reason why advance goes so deep is because too many of y'all are at the superficial level, right? So we're focused on making sure that we have an awesome LinkedIn profile, a great resume, a cover letter, like all the things, which we do for you. Like we do those things for you in advance. But the problem that I find is that you've not addressed the root. And so when you go on an interview, you don't know how to articulate your value because you're nervous and you feel like an imposter. Okay. Or some of you are held back by what I call golden handcuffs. So you know you got to get out of that. But because the money is real good, or because of the connections that you have, or because of the health benefits that you have. The reason you're using your health benefits so much is because it's making you sick. I wonder what would happen if you found another opportunity that still offered you health benefits, but was the right position for you and you were in alignment. So I want you to pay attention to those kinds of things because I don't want you to fall for that kind of trap. This is why so many people spend years at a job. I lived with one who spent years at a job that he hated. And so hate is a very strong word, but this individual that I know hated the job that they were in, but they could not see any other way out. So it aged them. They ended up resorting to other things to cope. How they started smoking, how they started drinking. I just need a glass of wine. Can I talk about, can we go there? Can we go there? I just need a glass of wine. I just need to take the edge off. And then you're 2 bottles in later. And you can't understand why these headaches don't go away or why you have a hard time focusing. Baby, come on. I need you to pay attention. So that was a really long answer for when you should leave a role. But I wanted to be able to kind of speak to that one because I don't want you to just make some really superficial decisions. And it's not always about the bag, y'all. You are the bag. You are your greatest asset. Don't fumble you. Don't fumble you. Because the more that you do that, the less you'll find the truth of who you are. And so in advance, what we're trying to do is get you to the root of who you are. So like that, you can show up unapologetically. So like that, when you go to apply for a position, you're not talking yourself out of it. Or you're making all these scenarios in your head of how difficult it could be, and you haven't even applied. How many of y'all have been there? Where you go to one of these job boards, you see a position that you like, you see the salary range, and you're like, nope, it's just going to be too hard. Or you see the title and you're like, I don't want to manage people. I've heard that too. I don't want to manage people because people are difficult. Meanwhile, you're the exact leader that people are looking for. Because of your resilience, because of your grit, because of your intellect, because of your lived experience, You are the person that people are looking for, but you've believed the lie of, I don't want to manage people. People are difficult. Or you'll say things like, that's just the way that I am. Are you though? Or is it that the way that you are is a trauma response and you're just more concerned on keeping yourself safe? Because I can tell you I've been through that too, especially growing up in the Bronx. So I'm in some of y'all's business right now. I feel like I'm dancing on some people's toes, and I'm not trying to dance on your toes for the sake of doing it. I just want you to confront the truth and stop hiding behind, it'll get better one day. Sharice said, I'm coming for edges and necks. I'm coming in hot on this Monday afternoon. But listen, like I want you to just be real about what you're dealing with. Because nobody's coming to save you, y'all. Nobody's coming to save us. So the reason why I want to teach you how to take ownership within advance is for a variety of reasons. Many of you don't feel comfortable being you. That's why Christmas parties and holiday parties during this season, you physically want to crawl out of your skin because you'd rather not participate. And as your coach, I'm telling you, those are probably the areas where you need to be because you're too broke not to be visible. And some people don't like to hear that, but I'm just saying. That's where some decisions are made. That's where some conversations are had. So you don't feel comfortable in those types of environments. And I'm not telling you to go out there and be somebody that you're not, but learn how to leverage those opportunities for your good. So some of you don't feel comfortable leveraging who you are. Some of you feel like you always have to be on, because I remember that feeling. I always had to be on. People would be like, oh, you don't smile enough, because there's nothing to smile about. That's the New York in me. And the other aspect to that too is that the way that I process information, I don't have a smile on my face. So in many cases, people will feel like I'm dismissive or I have a resting bee face. It's just I'm processing information. And so within advance, within the program, we create an environment for you to just be. Just show up. That's all I want you to do. Because at work and at other places, you have to be on all the time. And then thirdly, you don't know who you are without your title. So some people suffer through an identity crisis. Again, something that I lived through. Because who am I? Or my thought was, who was I if I did not carry this title? And so how do I introduce myself? And so how many of you introduce yourself by your title, not necessarily by the value that you bring? And so we want to help you to identify the value that you bring and how to be powerful. Somebody said, I am not going to the potluck. Listen, I don't blame you, okay? I don't blame you because the way that some people cook is quite questionable. So baby, I don't blame you for that. But that does not necessarily mean that you cannot engage in conversation. And that does not mean that you cannot take a no thank you portion. I'm giving y'all all my secrets. There were instances where let's make believe that this is a plate. There were instances that I would take what I call a no thank you portion. It was just like a little bit of one thing, and then just move it around. And again, because people would not mind their business, they'd be like, oh, you didn't eat anything. My love, is just that I'm so full. I'm good. I just wanted to spend time with y'all. And that spending time with y'all was a hot 15 to 20 minutes. And then I was gone. But I was visible. And so that's why I'm telling you, some of y'all are just You're too broke not to be visible. So walk around with a no thank you portion and then keep it moving. I'm not trying to tell you to have people become your best friends. But Cherie said she would bring her own food and keep a drink in hand. I don't believe you. Listen, whether it's at the company potluck or they're hosting it at a place, baby, H2O on the rocks and a no thank you portion. Thank you so much, but no thank you. And just keep it moving. So again, we talked about leverage, what to do when you have multiple opportunities, and leveraging those opportunities against each other so that you can make an informed decision. There's nothing wrong with that. That's one of the things, again, that we teach in advance is like, how do you manage having multiple conversations with different organizations so that you can make the best fit? And then when do you leave your current role? My love, you leave. You need to have a plan and you need to have a strategy. Because doing the same thing that used to work 10 years ago is not going to work for you right now. So get yourself in community. Make sure that you are visible. And comment the word join if you want to learn more about Advance and what it's all about. Applications are free. And through that process, once you submit your application, you'll schedule a time for you and I to connect. We'll see if we're a good fit because I'm also not a coach for everybody. I'm very well aware of that. Not everybody would want to work with me. And I'm not put on this earth to work with everyone. Okay? That's totally fine. But at least we can have a conversation to see where you're at. So, hi, Nina. If you comment join on IG, it's going to lead you to the application page. You can either click on I'm ready to apply, or you can click on I still have questions and you can book a call. Okay. So if you feel like I still need to talk to Susana about this before I apply, no stress, my love. Click on I still have questions and book a call. And then we'll go from there. If you're joining me on LinkedIn and on YouTube, I'm going to drop the link for Advance in the chat for y'all. Applications are open. We have 7 seats left in the program. Boop, boop, boop. I am so excited. I can't wait. I can't wait for y'all to meet some of y'all and just be able to pour into you. But if you're serious about this and you're like, yo, I need help. Comment and join on IG. Click on the link on YouTube and LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, what are you doing? Click on the link so like that you can be able to apply. Okay. So I love y'all. I hope that this was helpful for you today. If this was helpful for you, yes, I'm going to leave this live up. You can find it on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on IG. Send this to somebody else. Okay. Send this to someone else. And I hope that you guys have the most amazing rest of your week. For those of you who are in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have the most amazing Thanksgiving with your family. Also, protect your heart and your peace, okay? Because I know that the holidays stress people out. Protect your heart and your peace during this season because you're worthy of that. If it's costing you your peace, it's too expensive, friend, okay? So pay attention to that. If it's costing you your peace, it's too expensive. All righty, my loves. Have an amazing rest of your week. Happy Thanksgiving to all of y'all. Enjoy. And if you comment the word join, you'll get the link to Advance. Okay? JOIN on this live. We'll send you the link for Advance. And I can't wait to read y'all your applications and connect with y'all. Okay? Bye, everybody. Y'all go be great. It was awesome today. Great questions. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, y'all.